We have made Pele as a Wonderkid on Football Manager, but we didn't stop there. Remember the video where we created the best team ever with the 25 best players ever, up for massive debate, obviously? Every single one of them has been put in as a 16-year-old Wonderkid in this database. Ferenc Puskás is ready to go at Budapest Honvéd. Maldini is at AC Milan. Lev Yashin's at Dinamo Moscow. And Cafu is in the reserves of Sao Paulo. And of course, there is Pele. 25 unbelievable Wonderkids, and we will see who wins a Ballon d'Or first, who wins the most major league titles, and who has the best international career, potentially with a World Cup title. Potentially. And they will have 15 years to make their mark on the world. But we're starting in everybody is 16. And honestly, even though they will be good, they're not very good right now. So let's go forward 2 years. And Pele has made a massive move. He has transferred from Santos to Leeds. Well, not actually. It's even better. He's transferred to Tottenham for $10 million, who then loaned him out to Leeds. But last season, he played 42 league matches for Santos with 15 goals, and he has cracked the Brazilian national team already at 18 with 2 appearances. Only 4 World Cups to go. But a player like Ferenc Puskás has a lot longer distance to travel to the top of the game. Starting in the Hungarian second division, he managed to help get his team promoted and played the last season in the Hungarian top flight. But he only had 6 goals in 27 matches. He's still hitting his stride. Cristiano Ronaldo has broken into Sporting's first team, but he is already asking to leave because he's lost trust in the head coach. Well, Ronaldo Nazario has made the move to Dunkirk. Must be starring in the next Christopher Nolan film. See, they were able to sign him for free from São Cristóvão, and he made 27 appearances, scoring 13 goals with Dunkirk this past season. But if some of these guys don't get their big break soon, they might stall out in their development. We've seen it before. But other guys like Johan Cruyff, who obviously starts at Ajax, well, they're already at a great developmental club, and I'm sure he's going to be great. Although he hasn't played for Ajax yet. And Messi also has not played for Barcelona yet. But some of the players you'd think would stay at the club they were at have actually moved. The reserve left back for our best team of all time is actually Ashley Cole. And even though he started at Arsenal and made 4 appearances over the first couple of seasons, he was then purchased by PSG for $4 million. These alternative realities, man, they're gonna blow your mind. We fast forward 2 more years and Pele has become a regular at Tottenham Hotspur, doing things like bagging 90th minute winners against Everton in the Premier League. He signed a spiffy new $13 million a year contract and become fairly regular with the Brazilian national team. His attributes are also starting to get pretty dang good, which makes sense because he's Pele. And he's already helped lead Tottenham to a trophy. He helped them win the League Cup last year 1-0 against Nottingham Forest. Next, there's Garrincha, who's turned into one of the best dribblers in the world already, so naturally he was purchased for $29 million by Brentford. Cafu has also made the move to Europe. He is playing at Newcastle right now. In fact, a lot of these guys are playing in England. Even Philip Lahm went to loan at Ipswich for a year, but now he's returned to Bayern Munich and started to become a regular part of the first team. He's been joined by Lev Yashin, who finally got a move out of Russia, which is kind of awkward because he's taken Manuel Neuer's spot. Neuer is joining Tottenham at the beginning of the transfer window, so he gets to play with Pele. But there are a couple of players that have gotten stuck. Andrea Pirlo is stuck at Brescia. They got relegated in his first season, and he's been toiling in the 3rd division of Italy for the last couple of years. And Andres Iniesta has spent most of his time with the Barcelona reserve team, still struggling to break in with the first. And the same can be said for his partner, Xavi. But a couple of our superstars have teamed up on Liverpool. Roberto Carlos has been brought in at left back, a cool $19.5 million purchase from Palmeiras. And Ferenc Puskás was purchased by Liverpool, but he has only made 1 Liverpool appearance in a couple of seasons. Got that connection with Szoboszlai, you know? It's a countryman's thing. And he does have 12 caps and 5 goals already. And if you're wondering who we haven't looked at yet, Zinedine Zidane. With hair. He made a free move from Cannes to Napoli after his first season and has become a regular player in Serie A. Oh, and Franco Baresi. He did a loan with Preston North End, obviously, but he's started to break into the team for AC Milan. And the final player to check in on is Lothar Matthäus, and he signed for the meme team. The original video was with Legends FC, and somehow Legends FC managed to end up with Lothar Matthäus. He went from Herzogenaurach to Kaiserslautern to Arsenal, and then on to Legends FC, with whom he now plays in the Premier League. But their greatest moments are yet to come. 3 more years into the future, and Pele is definitely one of the best players in the world. He's getting paid nearly $20 million a year by Tottenham. He's made 33 appearances for Brazil and scored 20 goals. He's also led Brazil to the 2028 Copa America title with the win in the final over Mexico. I know what you're thinking. Where's the United States? Well, we finished behind Venezuela. But he's gotten in a bit of a Tottenham-y habit. Aston Villa beat them in the Europa League final 3-2. And in the League Cup final, they actually lost to Legends FC, a team that now has Garrincha, signing him away from Brentford for $127 million. They probably had that money because they sold Lothar Matthäus to Bayern Munich for the exact same amount of money. But Matthäus already has 50 caps for Germany. 50. Bayern Munich is actually collecting stars. They've got Matthäus, Lahm, Lev Yashin, of course, and also Franz Beckenbauer. He broke into the Bayern team in his 2nd season. The German contingent is concentrating. Maradona's made his way to Manchester United, naturally, for $7 million. Bobby Moore has battled his way into the West Ham first team and the England national team. Ronaldinho's made a big money move to Liverpool and is already one of the best players in the world for sure. And George Best has broken into the United first team after a loan at Sunderland. Now remember, we are looking for the first Ballon d'Or winner from this group, and we don't have it yet. Kylian Mbappe has won the award 5 straight times after a shock win from Bukayo Saka. But we are creeping toward FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper. Lev Yashin finished 3rd behind Courtois and Ederson. And the closest player to any major individual award was Cristiano Ronaldo. He's finished 2nd for FIFA Best Men's Player in consecutive years. After making a $42 million move from Sporting to Real Madrid, he's had a couple of unbelievable seasons, including one with an average rating of 7.71 in the league. He's already won 3 La Liga titles and a Champions League. He also guided Portugal to the final of the Euros, only to lose out to England. Of course, on the winning team was none other than Bobby Moore, but he didn't play. He was on the bench. But the huge news this summer is that the World Cup is on. So one of the 3 titles we're looking for, which is Best International Career, that is still completely up for grabs. That could go a long way to being decided right now. And it was won by England again. Sir Bobby Moore. This time he did play, making an appearance off the bench. They beat a Spanish team that includes none of our Spanish legends. No Iniesta, no Xavi. But fortunately for them, it's only because Iniesta was hurt. But Xavi, he just didn't get called up. He's only made a few appearances each season. And at 23 years old, he might be one of our flops. But I don't think anybody's flopping harder than maybe Andrea Pirlo, who is still playing at Brescia in the 2nd division of Italy at the age of 23. Of course, he has already played 245 matches for them, and he is a good player. And then there's Ferenc Puskas, who looks like a good player when you look at his attributes, but can't get in the team with Liverpool. He does have 48 caps and 28 goals for Hungary, and he did a very successful loan at Fulham, so maybe. And Ronaldinho's become a footballing god. Even Ronaldo Nazario's finally made his successful move, but it's been a very long journey. He went to Sochaux for a year and a half in the 2nd division of France, then was signed by Fulham, with whom he got relegated down to the English Championship. Dortmund signed him away from the Championship before the end of that summer window. He played 2 good seasons before Man City dropped $54 million and brought him in. So at the age of 23, Ronaldo Nazario has landed on his feet with a very high-level club. It just took him a little longer to get there. Oh, and Lionel Messi, starting to do Messi things. But it would be the next couple of years of this 15-year project that these players would really start to take everything over. Cristiano Ronaldo finally was the first to win a Ballon d'Or, with Ronaldinho coming in 2nd with his incredible performances at Liverpool. But then he was punked for the next Ballon d'Or by Mathys Tel with Bayern Munich, who no doubt was aided by the fact that he has a team seemingly full of the best players of all time. Matthäus, Lahm, Yashin, Beckenbauer, they are all still there doing their thing. And of course, if you're Bayern Munich, they have been winning the league basically every year. Lev Yashin broke through in 2030 and won Best Goalkeeper, but they still haven't won Best Men's Player. Erling Haaland won it, just finishing ahead of Pele, who's still on Tottenham. And then Mathys Tel in his Golden Ball year won it ahead of Pele. And Pele is attracting interest from, you guessed it, Bayern Munich. But his Tottenham career has been ridiculous. 226 appearances, 129 goals. And you're not going to believe this, a Champions League win with Tottenham. And of course, the winning goal was scored by none other than Pele in the 84th minute to beat Newcastle. And yes, he was playing against fellow all-time great Cafu, who's been at Newcastle basically the entire save. As for Bobby Moore, who seems to have the whole market cornered on being the best international player, he moved to PSG for $103 million and has played for the Parisians ever since. Zinedine Zidane? He's joined Pele at Tottenham. $129 million from Napoli after a long career in Italy. While Cristiano Ronaldo's winning Ballon d'Ors, Lionel Messi has continued to get better and better, dropping 30 goal contributions in 34 matches in the league last season with Barcelona. The throuple of Roberto Carlos, Ronaldinho, and Ferenc Puskas are all starting now for Liverpool. It took Puskas a while, but he had a very long way to go from the lower reaches of the Hungarian game. He bagged 19 goals in 33 matches last season. The end result of this combo: back-to-back Premier League championships, with Ronaldinho leading the way. He had 21 assists last year. We've got to check in on our last guy that has not made it to a major team, Andrea Pirlo. While everyone else is playing at the very top of the game, he continues to just be a superstar playing at Brescia. He dropped a 7.42 average rating in Serie B last season. And while he certainly hasn't developed as much as he could have, obviously, I'm stunned nobody's taken a shot at signing him, or that he hasn't been able to drag Brescia all the way up. I mean, they finished 13th this past year. They have one of the best midfielders of all time on their team. But it's time to go further. The players are now in the prime of their career with just a few years left to go until the clock strikes midnight. Despite all the interest, Pele is still at Tottenham. Him, alongside the collection of other talents that Tottenham has, did eventually guide Tottenham to the Premier League trophy in 2033. That was, of course, then followed up by our very own Legends FC. And the only one of the players to come home, Garrincha, led the way. He has 197 appearances and 130 goals for Legends FC. Can't believe nobody else was nearly as loyal. Ridiculous. But I know what you want to know. Has Pirlo moved? No. He has 432 appearances for Brescia, 52 goals, and he has never played in the top flight of any competition. But they're getting close. They've finished third each of the last 2 years. So maybe Pirlo will be able to drag his original club all the way up to the top flight of Italy. He has, despite not being in the top flight, managed to crack the Italian national team. He has made 7 appearances. Speaking of one club men, there's Johan Cruyff. He stayed at Ajax, but not forever, eventually moving to Arsenal for $124 million, where he has stars. He's the only one of these players that Arsenal's picked up. I feel like that's low for the Prem. And Ronaldo Nazario led Manchester City to the most recent Premier League title. But we're keeping track of things here. So who's going to win the most Ballon d'Ors? Well, Cristiano Ronaldo got his second, just beating out Matisse Tel, but Lionel Messi was on there in third. The following year, it was Zinedine Zidane, with Garrincha coming in third. And the year after that, it was Garrincha himself, with Visca Kvaratskhelia leading Kylian Mbappe in second and third. Which means Ronaldo has 2, Zidane has 1, and Garrincha has 1. The 2 goalkeepers have not won Best Goalkeeper since. The FIFA Best Men's Player Award has fallen in love with Zinedine Zidane, giving it to him in back-to-back years, making him the first of our all-time greats to win the award. As for the most league championships, that's already been cornered by all the Bayern boys. Now, the international champion, that might have a new entrant, because France won the 2034 World Cup. The winning team did not start Zinedine Zidane, but he did make an appearance off the bench. Well, the Argentine team started Lionel Messi at striker and brought Maradona off the bench. The real key, though, is in the penalty shootout. Zinedine Zidane went first for France, and Lionel Messi, who had picked up an injury in the match, went first for Argentina. Nobody picked up any points winning the Euros because, well, Croatia pulled off a stunning win in 2032. But the Brazilians, Ronaldinho, Cafu, Pele, unsurprisingly, have led to back-to-back Copa America championships for Brazil, which means we have 2 trophies for Bobby Moore, 2 trophies for the Brazil boys, and 1 for Zinedine Zidane. But it's time for us to take this to the end. After 15 years, where do we stand? Well, Pele spends his entire career up to the age of 31 at Tottenham. 89 appearances, 57 goals for Brazil, 412 appearances, 226 goals for Tottenham. But hey, he won every cup that you could win, including a Champions League and a Premier League with Tottenham Hotspur. It was a good life. And he got to share the team with Manuel Neuer and Zinedine Zidane. As for the Golden Ball, well, we have a tie. Because Lionel Messi managed to win one with Zidane coming in third. Then Andres Iniesta, unbelievably after his slow start, got the trophy he never won in real life. He won the Ballon d'Or in 2036. Diego Maradona was second and Garrincha was third. But then Garrincha, in the final year, got his second, tying Garrincha and Cristiano Ronaldo for the most Ballon d'Ors. Our first award was a tie. What is this? Maybe we can break that tie with the Men's Best Player Award, which Garrincha won once and somehow Cristiano Ronaldo never won. It was also won by Ronaldo Nazario, who was never in competition for the Ballon d'Or. Lev Yashin also found another gear and won Best Goalkeeper 3 consecutive years. And he did that while leading a collection of players at Bayern Munich that won literally every league they possibly could win. But I did misspeak. Because even though they've won the title for most leagues won, they somehow managed to finish 4th and 2nd over the course of their career. This goes to show how hard it is to win 11 leagues in a row. In the 4th place finish here, don't worry, Dortmund didn't win. It was Eintracht Frankfurt. But who won the most international trophies? Well, we have a tie for that one. One that probably won't be broken because Spain, with Iniesta and Xavi, they won it in 2036. The Euros, that is. While Copa America, the unbelievably good Brazilian team was a runner-up to Uruguay. So the Brazilians end with 2, and Sir Bobby Moore ends with 2. So for that one, I'm just gonna let you pick who the winner was. But this was a lot of fun, and a huge thanks to Mr. T, this guy, for helping design this database. If you want to play a database like this or other ones, he designs a bunch of different databases that bring in Wonderkids like this. His stuff will all be in the description. And if you want to watch the original video that this idea came from, which is putting a team of the best players ever in the lower division of England, well, I've obviously thrown that video right here. So hopefully you enjoy it.